All right, so welcome everybody to our call for the week. It is, oh my gosh, it's like May 26th or something, which I cannot even believe already. So we're heading towards the end of another month. And Fit Mama had a call this afternoon that talked about Success Club tips and, um, things that have some of the coaches shared ideas and things that have really helped them achieve Success Club. And it was very valuable what they shared. Like I was just saying, we can, of course, listen to that recording. I will share it in our page, but I still think it will be really beneficial I can quickly go over some of the things that they said. And then I'd love to open it up for everyone to talk about things that they have done that have helped them achieve Success Club. But first and foremost, I want to congratulate Miss Ashley for regaining that beautiful green diamond, Miss Emerald. Congratulations. You've been kicking butt and it's been noticeable. So keep up the great work. It's clearly showing, and it will definitely be beneficial to you. So awesome job. I'm not surprised at all by how consistent and how awesome you've been lately. So congratulations. What else do I want to say? Oh, I know the holiday weekend is coming up this weekend, and a lot of times what people might want to do after, because usually, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times people will overindulge on holidays. It's a long weekend. They may be, out drinking or eating things that they didn't necessarily feel good about. So definitely think about offering or posting about the 3-day refresh over the next couple days, especially because it is on sale right now. I forget when that sale ends. I would assume it would be the end of the month. So definitely take advantage of that and share that with people if you think that's something that they may be interested in. And by the way, my internet keeps saying the connection is a little off. So if you stop seeing or hearing me or anything, either text me or type in the message box. Hopefully I'll see it, but hopefully we'll be okay the whole time. All right, so let's get to some of the awesome points that they shared. One thing that Candace mentioned was how at the end of the month, if she is struggling to hit, well, actually, first and foremost, I know we've talked about this before. A lot of people will say hitting Success Club is a non-negotiable goal. And I just want to kind of reiterate that is all personal preference. It depends on kind of how you want to run your business. If you're somebody that wants to really go for it and make this into a full-time thing or really start doing well and being successful as a business owner with this type of business, then yes, Success Club should be a non-negotiable goal for you, but in a sense that you're changing lives, not that you're getting points. And I think that's, important to always remember that Success Club, yeah, it's points that we get, but it's more than just the points. It's very helpful to think of it more as like, this is another life that I'm going to change. And basically what it is you're changing 3 to 5 lives a month. So I personally like to look at it more that way versus like just, cold messaging people just to get the points. Like that's not something that I personally would like to do. Again, it's whatever works for you or whatever you want to do for your own business. It's totally, that's kind of the beauty of being a coach, is you can do whatever you want with it, which is awesome. But I think it's just important to think of Success Club as someone's life that you're about to change, which adds a lot of value to it and kind of almost makes it, I don't know if I want to say like less scary or like less icky to have as a goal. Like if you think of it more like, I want to help 3 to 5 people change their lives with a challenge pack or with Shakeology or with a program, then yeah, that's definitely the better way to look at it. And I think it will actually help motivate you to try and hit that goal more because you're adding value to other people's lives. And then it reflects on your business through the Success Club points. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. It's totally personal preference. If you want to make it a non-negotiable goal, you absolutely can. But I don't want anyone to ever feel pressured that Success Club is something that you have to hit or else. So, and also if you don't hit it and it was your goal, that's totally okay. As long as you know that you're doing your best and you're reaching out to people, you're inviting them, you're talking to them, you're forming, that all will come back around. So it's still super important to do all of those things. So anyway, I just wanted to say that first. All right. So Candace, in the call mentioned that towards the end of the month, if she hasn't hit her Success Club goal yet, what she will do is go through her old messages. Like, let's say you were talking to somebody last week or last month about the 21-day fix and they never followed through with it. She'll go back through her messages and see those people, and then she'll reach out again. She'll say, hey, I know you were interested in this last month. I don't know if it's a good time or not right now, but I just wanted to let you know I'm offering like a $25 or $30 gift card or something along those lines for anyone that gets the well, I don't know. It's not really the best wording, but you know what I mean? Like basically reaching out to people and reminding them that they were interested, asking them if this is a good time, letting them know you have a challenge group coming up that you'd love to put them in, and then offering them a little incentive. And just as a side note, we can offer up to $50, and it cannot be a Visa. It can't be a American Express card. It can't be like a credit card type thing. It has to be something like an Amazon gift card or Lululemon or like Whole Foods or a gas card or something that is connected to another, I don't know, avenue or whatever, however you want to say that. But apparently it can't be like a Visa card, just so that everybody knows that. I don't really know how they would find out, to be quite honest, but for whatever reason, that is a rule. So I would assume there must be a way. So that is something that Candace will do towards the end of the month, and sometimes that does work. But as I would caution not to do this all the time. That's kind of more like an end of the month, like if that's something you want to hit and you can't seem to get anyone to buy, that might be something that gives them that extra push or that extra incentive to go for it. And again, you're never convincing somebody to just buy something. You're offering them a program, the shakes, and you're putting them into a challenge group where you're going to help them. So it's not, it's never something where you're convincing someone to buy something just for the points again. But I would caution against doing that all the time. One reason being because I feel like a lot of the times when I've done that, it almost devalues the whole package in a way. Like, I don't think people take it as seriously. They're like, oh, well, I'm getting this extra deal on it, so yeah, I'll buy it. But then I feel like a lot of the times those are the people that aren't as excited when they get it, and they're not really as, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, they're not as motivated to get started, I guess. I think that's something to remember. Not to say that it's not a bad thing to do that, especially if, someone that you're talking to is like, oh, well, I don't have a lot of money right now. Like, that's usually when I offer it, just because I want people to have it. I want them to have the program and start the shakes because I feel like I'm so, confident that they're going to love it. But when you're doing that as more of an incentive to just get someone to buy it, I will just say be a little bit careful with that, because sometimes it can not end up working out as well as you want. And then I always kind of feel bad about it. And I'm like, well, maybe I shouldn't have, because maybe they would have, I don't know. Just kind of something to think about. And Katie just said, what if you throw in the portion fix? That's actually a great idea. And I have done the portion fix, or I have given, or I've offered a copy of Fixate for challenge people who get challenge packs. And that actually has worked really well. Plus you're giving them something that's going to help them with the package that they're getting. So that's a great idea. And being entered into a drawing is a really cool idea too, because that gets people excited and they're like, ooh, I hope I win. So those are great ideas, Katie. And what else? Another thing that a lot of the coaches said on the call today was to private message everybody who likes or comments on one of your pictures, and send them a message, but not saying like, oh, I saw that you liked this. Like, does that mean you're interested? Like, do you want more info? Like, more so saying like, hey, thank you so much for the like and for the support. That really means a lot to me. How are you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while. Something that just gets a conversation going. Because I feel like there's so many different companies and people selling things online that it's almost like people expect you to automatically go right into saying something that will potentially generate a sale for you. And I think it would kind of be a pleasant surprise for people to realize like, oh, they're just thanking me and they really want to know how I'm doing, which is what we do want. We do want to build relationships with people. So I think that's a really great way of kind of breaking the ice and opening up conversations with people. And they may bring the conversation up to you, but if not, at least you're starting to build a new relationship with somebody. What did Nicole say? Oh, so I had never really thought of this, but Nicole brought up so a lot of times when you're talking to people and they may say that they're interested, and you may get to the point where you even sent them your link or sent them something through the app to get them to purchase because they said they were interested and they wanted to, but then they didn't. And that happens a lot, and you end up getting crickets. And Nicole said one thing that she does that has worked really well for her, and who else said it? Jen said it too, was sending a before and after picture. So let's say somebody was interested in the 21-day fix. If you have a before and after picture of yourself, that's obviously better to use than one of the Beachbody Challenge pictures or something, or if it's another coach like within our team or within FitMom or Rockstar. But they said what they'll do is they will reach out to that person again and kind of like what I said earlier, they'll say something along the lines of, hey, like I know you're really interested in this. I don't know if it's a good time or not, but I just wanted to kind of share this with you and show you these amazing results. Like, doesn't she look awesome? Or something along those lines, and then sharing a before and after picture, because that's like super motivating. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I see these before and after pictures, they blow me away like every time. And I think it's valuable to show people that the programs work on a person that doesn't have the potential to have been like like, the professional people, how they can like adjust pictures or whatever. Like if we're sharing your own picture, or if you're sharing someone from your team, like a real person, I think people can see more value in what the potential of the program is for them. And it might just be that extra push to get them to be like, all right, I'm going to do this, and like get them excited about it and be like, I want results like that. And obviously we always want to say like results vary, but it's so great to have that, to see, someone else's before and afters, which is really powerful. One other thing that somebody said was if someone's hesitant or on the fence about something, they will offer them a free like 3 or 5 day sneak peek into their challenge group, so they can kind of see what a challenge group is like. And I had a little bit of a different take on this, mainly because I don't hold challenge groups that are like only Beachbody customers. I kind of just, let anybody in my group. So I don't know if I necessarily totally agreed with that, because it implies that you have to buy something to get into the group. But on the other hand, that's not a bad idea to get someone who might be interested in joining a group or purchasing something. It still might be a good idea to try that, just so that they can see, or just to invite them in general to your challenge group anyways, and so that they can see what the support is like, see if they want to continue being in your group. And then, down the line, maybe once they see that you're willing to support them, they may change their mind, or they may decide that they do want to start something. Another thing that people do is they'll give a deadline. So they'll say things like, I only have like 2 or 3 spots left, and the deadline to order is like May 30th. And she said to never make the deadline the absolute last day of the month, because you want to give them a little bit of a buffer. But sometimes the sense of urgency and the sense of, she's asking me and there's only like 2 people left that can join, like that type of feeling that it gives to some people might give them that extra boost of motivation to stop putting it off and to get started. So that's another thing that somebody said. Also, if you're consistently posting on your personal Facebook page, that can totally help with just the forming and the relationship building conversations that you're having with people, so that you might not even have to be the one that brings it up. You may be having this like normal conversation with somebody, and then they ask you because they're seeing what you're posting, and then boom, you're talking about Beachbody all of a sudden, or health and fitness in general. And then the conversation can lead into you talking more about what you can offer them, which is a great idea. And another reason why, being consistent on your Facebook page is super important. Another thing is to always ask people for referrals. If somebody may be on the fence of getting started, you can say, well, can you think of anyone, like a family member or a friend who may be interested in doing this with you, and you guys can do this together and hold each other accountable and join the group or something like that, which may kind of make people feel more at ease if they have someone that they know joining them. Another thing is to always ask for referrals when you're talking to anybody, like someone who might say no, not right now or whatever. You can ask them like, oh, that's totally fine, and ask them if they know of anyone that they think would benefit from this type of group or from a program or whatever. Just a simple question, because they may know someone who's looking to lose weight and doesn't really know where to start, and they may be able to connect that person to you. And if you ever do have someone who says they do have a referral, one way that they said to get in contact with that referral is to ask them, well, can you set up like a private message or like a text message with that person, like between the 3 of us, so that, we can start chatting and get a relationship through that way, versus saying, will you give them my email and phone number? Because there's just less of a chance for that person to then reach out to you. I think if their friend that you've been talking to is the one that connects to you through a message or through a text, it kind of adds more value to it versus putting it on that random person that you've never spoken to before to reach out to you, which some people can be weary and nervous about doing something like that. So if you have the person you're talking to set up that referral message, then they were saying that has been much more successful as far as getting referrals and getting in contact with them. Let's see. What else do I want to say? Yeah, another person said referrals too. And then another thing about referrals is if you can say, like, if you have a friend or a family member that you think would benefit from this, definitely let me know. I'd love to have you set up a message with all of us in the group. I can give you more information, and then I can offer you guys like an extra prize or a gift card or something, like a kind of like a group deal or something to get them excited about it as well. Once you hit Emerald, you start qualifying for free customer leads. And as you hit Success Club, you can get the free Success Club leads. So those are people you definitely want to be reaching out to and following up with. Even if they're not replying back to you, one of the girls was like, still keep messaging them at least once a month. You never know when they're going to finally come out of their shell. Like maybe they are afraid to talk to you, or maybe they don't believe that you're going to help them or that you really want to help them. But if you're, constantly reaching out to them at least once a month and showing them that you're there for them and you want to support them, it might help them grow comfortable and confident enough to reach back out to you and then start building a relationship. And Jen did say that, a lot of times they do not respond, but she does have a couple people who were her free customers that she is now in contact with. They're in her challenge groups. They've bought in challenge packs and they're, on their way to getting good results. So definitely something to keep in mind. And another thing that a lot of them said was to use voice messaging, which I don't know why I'm so afraid to do this. And some of you may not even know, but through Facebook Messenger, you can send a voice message. So you can send a little recording. It's up to 60 seconds per recording. And in the message, you can hit the little record button, hold it down, and then talk to them. And they said it's super valuable for them to hear your voice, to hear your enthusiasm, it kind of is more personal and connects them more with you. And just keep in mind, I tested it. You have to, once you start hitting record, like, you're done for. Like, if you mess up and you don't want that going to them, once you let go of that record button, it's sending. So just so you know, be prepared. And if you mess up, it's fine. Just laugh at yourself, I guess. But just so you know, I tried this on somebody. I don't remember who it was I practiced on, but I was like afraid. I think it was Erica. I was like afraid to do it. So I hit the record button and I don't even know what I said. And I let it go. And I was thinking I was going to be able to like exit out and start over, but no, it just sent. And I was like, oh, thank God I practiced, because that would have been kind of hilarious. So, oh, Lauren says her friends couldn't figure out what you sent. I know, it's very new. Well, I guess it's not really that new, but not a lot of people use it or have used it. So I totally did it to somebody once and she was like, oh my gosh, like blown away that I was able to do that. It was kind of funny. But I do think there is a lot of value to it. So it is definitely something that I want to start trying more of, because, people interpret what you type differently. Like, I swear I could say something and have like faces, like I use emojis like a crazy person. So that I think helps people kind of a little bit more understand the tone of voice I'm using. But it still doesn't matter. Like, when I send something to people, like, they may read that and have a completely different tone of voice than what I intended them to hear. So definitely think about doing that more often, because I think it's super valuable for them to hear how excited you are and how genuine you are with, wanting to help them. What else? Kristen reminded everyone about the 555 system, and that number can be adjusted to whatever you want it to be. You can have it be 222 or 10. And what it refers to is, for every day you want to form with 5 new people, invite 5 new people, and follow up with 5 people. And again, that number can be adjusted to whatever goal you want. And she actually made a really good point. She was like, if you want to, like, on Sundays do 20, and then the rest of the week do like 3 or whatever, make it out to be what's going to fit your life and your schedule. So I really like that she said that, because I need to start doing stuff more like that. Like, on my days off, I need to set my goal at a higher number, and the days that I'm working, because I'm gone for so many hours in the day, I need to set that at a lower number. But at least it's a number that I'm trying to fit in with my life right now, while maintaining consistency with doing things like that, which is super important. So I like that she kind of pointed out that. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Tasha was talking at the end and she said, keep it short and simple. And I think that is so valuable. When I first started as a coach, it's embarrassing what I used to send people. Like, I'm not even kidding. I made like Word documents with ridiculous amounts of information about the programs that these people were interested in. It's terrible. I don't know how anyone ever talked to me. So short and sweet is the best way to go. Using the YouTube videos, the Beachbody YouTube videos. If someone's interested in a program, send them the video instead of, trying to explain it yourself. I mean, obviously you can do that to a certain extent, but just know that the person on the other end doesn't know these things like we do. And if you kind of over talk things or give them too much information, they may just shut down and be like, this is too much, I can't handle this. And it may end up deterring them instead of getting them really excited about it. So definitely keep that in mind. Another thing, I don't know if you guys use the Beachbody, the mobile app. But if you do, if that's how you like set people up or help them sign up or create accounts, you can go into that app and see who completed their orders and who hasn't completed theirs yet. So one thing that someone brought up was to go into the app and look at the people that haven't completed yet. And she said you can resend them or like resend the email that has their order all set and ready for them. I would not recommend just doing that and leaving it. I would recommend either resending it to them and then messaging them and just, saying hey, what's up? Like, just sending them some sort of message just to let them know that you did that and ask them if now is a good time. You can offer them an incentive if you want to. But I wouldn't just, resend it and then that was that. Or you can send them a message without resending it, start the conversation up again and see how they're doing. But I think that was pretty much the most of it. And one more thing Tasha mentioned was a lot of the times people are afraid or nervous or intimidated to get started in general, but never mind to be working with somebody, especially when you may not know them personally. It may just be through social media. So a lot of the times it can be nerves or people being uneasy about it, which may be holding them back. So just try to remember that and think of ways that you can ease their nerves or help them be more comfortable and confident in you, and help them kind of believe in themselves too, because they may not. They may think, well, I won't be successful at this if I try it. When that's, obviously the effort that they put into it is what's going to get them the results. But I think as coaches, we have a lot of value to offer in helping people, have confidence in themselves and believe them in themselves and know that it's okay to fail along the way as long as you're trying. And, just try to remember to think of ways to help people be more comfortable with you and trust in you and trust in what we're offering them as products and as, you being their coach. So that was pretty much the main points of the call. Does anyone have anything they want to add or any questions?
I want to echo and sort of add to what you were saying at the beginning about Success Club being a priority or not a priority or non-negotiable. Just a little personal lesson for this month. I've been if I make it this month, it'll be month 8 on my road to Success Club All-Star. And I've been so hyper-focused on that goal that midway through this month, I had to slap myself across the face and say, what are you doing? And it was really starting to degrade my business. I was getting pushy with people. I was having really bad reactions when they didn't want a challenge pack and they wanted something different or they weren't ready or whatever. And I was so wrapped around the axle about hitting Success Club that I was losing sight of the reason why I was doing this in the first place. So I've really taken a step back, and I still think I'm going to hit it this month. But the reason I'm going to hit it this month is because the people that I'm working with, I offered free support. I got, they got a Shakeology packet. We talked about their goals. I've sent meal plans. I've really spent time with them again from the ground up, building what they needed from me. And, if one or two of them ends up being next month or never, no big deal. And so it was just sort of a reminder that we get spun up, especially in the last week of the month, about hitting that goal. And it's an important goal, yes. It's a benchmark. I kind of consider it more a benchmark than a goal. It's month over month, it's sort of a benchmark as to how you're doing long-term in your business. If you're hitting Success Club, yeah, you're growing. But if you're not hitting it, it's not a deciding factor of whether or not you're successful in this business. Truly, at the end of the day, you could sit down and count the number of people whose lives you've touched And just because they didn't contribute to a Success Club point doesn't mean they don't count towards your business impact. So it was just sort of that was kind of my little reality check this month that I wanted to share with everybody, because it was definitely like a duh, Laura moment. So the goal is still there. I still would love to be all-star, but all that is just sort of a thing to hang on my wall, and it's not really the be all and end all. So, and then to kind of go along with that point, I think what's really helped me to get to this point, to be at almost month 8 of Success Club, is vulnerability. And I've really found that posting vulnerable things, having vulnerable conversations with people, really getting raw about the things that hold me back, about my illness, about my fertility, about all of that stuff that sucks to talk about, it has helped a lot, because most of the people that need help have something, and it might not be the same things that you're dealing with, but have something that they're self-conscious about, that they're dealing with either medically or mentally, or, you know, stress at home or whatever the case. I was just talking to somebody before I got on this team call that is working 2 jobs and going to grad school, and she's just like at her wit's end, stressed out. And so we got really raw and real about what that stress is doing to her and what stress does to me, and how, you know, I'm breaking out right now because I'm on 6 weeks of not having my husband home, and everything's kind of collapsing on me. And so just having those real conversations that have nothing to do with Beachbody, but just actually being visceral with people and making that connection is what's going to get you there, because they could, like we've said before, they can buy a challenge pack from anybody. Mm-hmm. But if you can connect with them on that human level, whether it's a challenge pack or otherwise, that's really what I'm finding to be key. And like the fun posts and, you know, flexing posts and all that stuff, that's all important too, because that's all part of the fun side of it all. But when you can be vulnerable and when you can connect a little bit on that personal level, it really helps. And then the last thing I'll mention is I'm finally starting to have more confidence and more success in face-to-face interactions. So I've been having more wear and share moments where people ask me about it, and I don't fall all over my words explaining things, and I'm actually being able to, you know, talk to people in person. And so I'm probably the worst person at any kind of face-to-face interaction, because I'm like the most awkward turtle on the planet when it comes to like small talk. So if I can do it, you can do it. Just sort of like a little like a pep talk for anybody out there, because, you know, 6 months ago, not even if somebody asked me, I'd be like, yeah, I kind of do it. It's fun. It's good. I like it. Like, I would just completely freak out if somebody asked me face to face. And finally, I'm starting to be a little bit more articulate, and it's working. People are, you know, taking my business card and following up, or I'm putting their number in my phone. Like, I'm getting contacts from it. So do it. It's worth it.
That's awesome. And I will say, actually, mind you, that I mean, not that your posts have ever like not had this, but I can sense it in like your posts and your videos that you're getting, you know, more confident and everything too. And it's been really awesome to watch. So kudos.
Thank you. Practice makes perfect, or practice makes progress anyway.
Action, taking action.
And then I just want to complete sidetrack, but I just want to give a shout out to Katie for her amazing website and email campaign. If anybody has any interest in checking that out, and you haven't signed up for her daily emails yet, because she was doing sort of a beta trial, like I'm blown away by, I mean, she obviously has skills that I don't have, but awesome stuff there. And that's another great way, obviously, of putting yourself out there. So
yes, I saw that yesterday at work, and I totally forgot about it. So I'm going to go back in the page and sign up, because that sounds awesome. I think it's in, she posted it in our team page.
Yeah, there's a link in it.
It's a couple posts down by now, because I've put a couple things in, and some other people have posted, but it's in the team page somewhere. So I totally want to do that. Thank you for that reminder.
Yeah, I've told Katie at some point she's going to have to host a team call and talk.
I was just going to say that.
She's already like the invite master, and now she's the website master. So she's going to have to talk to us about it.
Yes. Go, Katie, go. Does anyone else have anything they want to add? Any questions? Any hesitations about anything? One thing I will say, I mean, I quickly kind of just mentioned it, but Laura made me think of it with what she was saying, was taking action is the best thing that you can do. Right now I'm listening to the Ask Gary Vee book, which has been interesting. But there are some like random bits and pieces that I've really taken away from that. And one thing that he said was, you can't really improve in anything unless you're taking action. And I know for me personally, I'm like my own worst enemy. I get in my way. I'm like hesitant to do things. I'm a perfectionist, which is awful. So I get in my own way. I hold myself back far too much, and I'm not taking enough action. I feel like I want to have my wording better, or I feel like I don't know, like there's just so much that I want things to like be better than they are. Like I've been wanting to start a blog for a while, but I haven't, because I have like this vision in my mind of what my blog is going to look like, and I know I could never make it look like that. So I haven't even, like, I just like give up before I even try, and it's ridiculous. So basically taking action, like you may not have the right wording the first times you do it. When I was first inviting people or talking to people, like I said before, I was word vomiting on them and it was like terrible. But I learned ways that worked, and I've learned ways that don't work by doing, not by wondering or, thinking too hard on what I was going to say. Like I learned more by what I've done versus what I've been holding myself back from doing, if that makes any sense. So taking action without having all the answers, without being perfect about it, without, worrying so much about what other people are going to think, is far better than focusing on things that you can't control. The only thing you can control is what you do. And then people are going to react, and they may not react the way that you necessarily want them to, but that's life. And that shows you either this person wasn't ready right now, or maybe I could have worded this differently. Like, let's switch it up a little bit and try it different next time. But basically that's how you learn the best, is by doing so. And that was kind of like more of a pep talk for myself, but in case anyone else needed that, I figured I'd say that. Let's see. Oh, so Laura also mentioned wanting to talk about group plans for next month, because we're already almost in June, which is crazy. So what do people have as far as ideas? Like, do we want to try doing like a monthly plan for our team? I don't know if people like to do their own thing more often than not, but I'm trying to think, like, I think it was the last call that we had, I showed a calendar, and I was thinking of having like a Shakeology group, or like some sort of free group, it might actually be the second week of June, because the first week is still part of May, and then having like a fitness challenge group where like people who have Beachbody programs in Shakeology, not only those people, but like people who are on their fitness journeys can join like a 30 or 60-day challenge or something like that. But do we want to try and, set up something monthly to have like consistency as far as what we're inviting to, or like, what do you guys think? And also I do want to do a Coach Basics at some point starting next month as well, because I think that's definitely something that our team needs. So definitely want to do that.
Could we potentially do like a Google Doc or something like that has a calendar? And I'm saying this without really knowing how to do it, but it has like a calendar where we could all contribute to it. So like if Ashley's doing a 5-day challenge and Lauren's doing a 5-day challenge, you could put it in there. And then if people want, like if it's something you want to open up to the team, in other words, people could see. And then if there's already a 5-day Shakeology challenge, okay, maybe I won't do them. Maybe I'll just join that one. Because I do feel like we always say we're going to do team-wide ones, and then everyone ends up doing their own thing.
I know, and it gets confusing.
And I think there's value in doing our own small ones. Sometimes it's nice to have like us just a small group, but there's also value in having big groups to add people to as well, where you don't have to do all the work. So maybe we could do that.
Yes.
I think Ashley's nominating Katie to be our Google Doc champ.
Katie, are there such things as Google Doc calendars?
Even if it's like a spreadsheet or something like that.
Well, you know what? We probably could.
There's no such thing as a Google Doc calendar,
Damn it.
unfortunately.
But
You can share your calendar with everyone else, though. It's super easy.
Like a Gmail one?
Yeah, so if you have a Gmail account, you can share your calendar with everyone else.
Okay.
And you have to connect that to their Gmail, though, right? Or no?
No, they just have to, like, I can show everyone how to do it, but you just have to click on, like, there's a box that'll show up when someone shares it with you when you open your calendar, and you have to highlight it and make sure you can see it. That's all.
Well, maybe what I'll do then, because that sounds like it's not necessarily something we could have in our page. So maybe what I'll do is I'll see if I can add a file and make it into a calendar. And if not, then maybe I'll put in a Excel document with a calendar in it, and we can all, like, I think once that's in there, I think people can edit it. Not positive, but I think
And then I think there's another thing you can use. I can't remember if you have to pay for it or not. It's called Calendly. Here, I'll type it in because it's annoying. But you can collaborate with other people.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Calendly. Interesting. All right, I'll look into that. Let me write that down.
And people can book calls with you too. That's good to have, like, if you do have a website or a blog. Let's say, hey, book a free 15-minute call with me or something.
What? That sounds like the one that I used a couple months ago, but it was only a free 30-day trial, and then it was like $30 a month or something.
Oh.
Not that one. It was something where what I was using to have people like schedule one-on-one calls with me, and then I realized that it was only 1 month free, and then it was like $30 a month, and I was like, I don't want to do that. So, but this might be different, so I'll definitely look into that. And if we can't do it on that, I'll try. Huh?
I think your idea of a spreadsheet or just a document would be fine too. Just something that everyone could like
Type in, yeah.
Here's what's going on this month. Are there any gaps? Is there something I wanted to do or something I wanted to join? And then that way we kind of know. Because I always see them and then I forget. Like I see people post like, "Hey, I'm doing this," and then I forget. So
I know, I totally agree. And I could have it pinned at the top of the page, and then
Google Calendar. I'm looking at this right now, and it's like share your calendar. That it's something everybody can tap into. Google calendar.google.com.
I have a Google Calendar, but I don't know. I've never tried sharing it with somebody, and I don't know. I don't think that's something that we could then like share in the group. I think it's just like a connection between your Gmail accounts. I mean, we could still try it and see how it is.
You can make a group calendar too.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
I think you definitely can.
And then you could, the link to it you could post in the group, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's true.
People could just click on it and then edit it there.
All right, we'll have to try it.
I think that would be awesome if that works. If there's a group calendar, for sure.
And then I was trying to think too. It may even be valuable to have it as an Excel sheet, and we can just say like the week of, or like dates this to this on one side versus like literally like creating a whole calendar, because that'll take forever. And then like posting what the challenge group is going to be between like this date and this date, and then people can maybe like put their names underneath it if they want to join, or if they want to like co-host, or if, I don't know, like trying to think of ways to have everyone share what their groups are, and then know who wants to be in the group and if anyone wants to co-host or whatever. Like trying to think of ways to have that all planned out ahead of time. Good idea. Cool.
I definitely want to do the Free Shakeology Challenge, and I don't know if anyone listened to the Rockstar call from Sunday. that I posted in the group. It's on free challenge groups. If you haven't listened, listen, because it was awesome. You can fast forward through her. She gave a really long-winded introduction about her story, but maybe like 10 minutes in, she starts presenting slides, and they were really, really good. She had like really good tactical ways to run a free challenge group, and she talks about like scheduling an event through your like page so that when people respond to your event, when people respond to an event on your personal page, friends of theirs can see it. But when people respond to an event on your like page, all of those people that you don't really know very well that like your page, their friends are seeing it. So it's more sort of global influence, so to speak. So she schedules an event through her like page, invites everyone that likes her page to it, and then you can post that link to your personal page if you want to. But then she kind of does teasers in there, and then she moves all those people into a private group once the and then like there's a ton of tips. I won't go through them all, but she talked about things like posting the night before instead of in the morning, because people like to know what they're in for the next day, and some people are up really early. So if you're posting like a meal plan for the next day, or if you're posting workouts for the next day, like do it at 8 p.m. at night, because then people are like, okay, I'm excited, I'm setting my alarm, I'm going to get up and do it. But there's a ton of really good tips, and she talks about how she then closes things at the end and invites people to the next group, and does her follow-ups. She talks about like private messaging everyone in the group twice a week to make sure that they're still involved and if they need anything. And so it was a really good call. And so I think if we kind of use some of those tips for our June calls, I think we'll see a lot of benefit.
That sounds awesome. I will definitely listen to that. Thank you. Yay. Does anyone else have any questions or any ideas? No? All right. Well, this was awesome. I will definitely get the recording up either today or tomorrow. And then, yeah, I'm excited about, pulling together like monthly groups and stuff like that. I think that'll be super valuable. Again, this doesn't require anyone to do any certain things. You can do your own thing if you want. I think it's definitely a good idea to have the option of, joining together and on things and just having some sort of a system where we always have groups going and people to invite and all that good stuff. So awesome, awesome, awesome. And I hope some of the Success Club tips were helpful. I will also copy and paste the Fit Mama call recording into our team page as well. Even though I went over everything, I would still recommend listening to that because I didn't go over every little thing they said, and it was super, super valuable. All right. So, and yes, Ashley, I agree. I think it is helpful to have more than one coach posting for like larger groups, or I feel like you can kind of read people too. Like there are certain people that you are in contact with that may only want to hear from you and may only want to be in a group with you, whereas other people you can probably tell would benefit from a larger group and more people posting and stuff like that. So definitely awesome to have the option of multiple groups going on. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining tonight. And yeah, we only have a couple days left of this month, I think, till next Tuesday. So if Success Club is your goal, start pushing. That's mine. So, and I'm at 0 right now, just throwing that out there. So you guys, we all can do it. Just got to believe in ourselves. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.